herself through her busy day.
Hey, this is RagingPsyco bringing you Chapter 4 of Soulless Shell, a Redwall fanfic by Ultimate 9ball. Next chapter, review! Please. Soulless Shell Chapter 3, A New Life. Leaf continued to follow Karis out of the village, then they followed the forest path, then they went slightly west off the path and continued for a few miles until they reached a cave that followed him through the cave, then they went up through a passage that went up and out. He found himself back out in the sun. As he looked forward, he saw a large tower surrounded by a vast village. Suddenly Karis spoke. "Welcome, my lord, to Vacadoris!" Leaf looked to see the village gate open slightly. As he entered, the village grew deathly silent. As he walked through the streets, many people bowed respectively to him, and many young girls giggled at the sight of him, but still bowed. Why are they doing this, Karis?" "Simple, my lord, they know whom their master is." "But that's not what I want," Leaf thought to himself. "Come now, my lord, we have very much to do today." "All right, Karis, let's go to... Oh, where are we going?" "Do you see that tower in the middle of the village, my lord?" "Yes, I do, Karis." "Well, my lord, that is where you will rule from and learn of how you are the Crimson King." "All right, Karis, let's go." As they walked into the large tower-like castle and walked into a large circle room, there was a large rat stood. "Ah, welcome, my lord," he bowed. "My name is Thurnos," he bowed. "Oh, please, sir, don't bow to me. I don't deserve it." "Oh, but you do, my king." In his mind, he so dearly wished he could sneer at him. But enough about that. We have so much to do in so little time. "Sir, what are we doing exactly?" "We are completely proving you are the Crimson King, my liege." "How do we do that?" "You know, for someone so young, you sure do ask a lot of questions. Leaf, tell me, what race were your parents?" "My mother was a mouse and my father was a rat, which you brutally killed," Leaf said, emotionless. "Ah, but for a good reason. They lied about your lineage, and I believe you can do much more for your people. Lord, now go with Karis. Your first test is to begin." "Come with me, young Master," Karis obediently told Leaf. "Okay, Karis." As Karis and Leaf walked away, he sneered, "Don't worry, my lord. In a few years you'll belong to me. Ha 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 ha." "Okay, my lord, the first test is if you can defeat normal warriors. We must go to the arena to do this. Follow me, young master." As they entered the gates, they slammed behind him. Surprisingly, Leaf did not flinch when this happened. "Okay, send in the challengers." Leaf could see that all of them were at least 20 seasons above him. He took the sword which Karis handed him. He watched as Karis nimbly jumped up into the seats. "Begin!" The rats rushed at him as Leaf raised his blade, and the first one got to him. Without thinking, he brutally slashed the rat to pieces. Then the next rat rushed at him, and Leaf nimbly jumped over his head and swung his blade downwards. As he watched the rat slice in half, the last one came at him. He teleported, much to Karis' surprise, and slashed him in the back. As he fell to the ground, Karis jumped down to meet him. "Very good job, young master. Well done. Now to the final test." "What will this test consist of, Karis?" "We will try to find the Crimson King's eye on your body." "The what?" "It is the eye that proves that you are the Crimson King is hidden on your body somewhere. Now come." He sat Leaf down on a chair as he spoke to him. "Okay, young master, try to relax." Leaf did as he was bade. When Karis opened his paw, and a bright light went over his body, and suddenly a large eye appeared on his neck with a bloody pupil and 3 spikes adorned the lid. "I guess you are the Crimson King, young master." "What exactly is a Crimson King, sir?" "A Crimson King is a war leader and a god, a life source, and a great power. The Crimson King is the one who is supposed to give the land to our kind." That sounds like you are basically talking about taking over innocent lives." He spoke without an expression on his face. "And enslaving people and trying to use me as a puppet. Oh, I don't think you are a friend, Karis. I think that is the intention of your friend Turnos." Karis thought, "This child is more resourceful than I thought, and he harbors my hatred for Turnos." "Come now, young master, we must go back to Turnos." As they walked back toward the circle room, Turnos greeted them. "Ah, Karis, is Leaf our king?" "Yes, my lord, he is very well. Now, Leaf, I am sending you to live with a good friend of mine, Avina. Come in, please." Avina was a beautiful young fox. She, of course, was taken in by the Goliathans when she was found beat up by the shore because of her injuries. She was told she would never be able to bear children, which was what she wanted more than anything else in the world. "You will stay with her for a few weeks until I think you are ready. Now take him to his new home, Avina." "Yes, Thurnos," she said obediently. "Come, Leaf," she said with a cheerful smile. As Leaf walked into Avina's home, he looked around and saw it was sparsely furnished. "Miss Avina." "Yes, Leaf." "Why did they have to kill my parents?" Leaf asked. Avina felt her heart ache at this statement. "I do not know, Leaf." For many days, Avina and Lish spent time together. They became closer. He asked one day, embarrassed, would you mind being my mother? She did not see that coming. Why would you want that? Basically nothing. Much I don't have much either. I don't care. You are the only person here who has treated me like a person and not a king and a lord and god and all of that other confusing stuff. Okay, she said with a smile on her face. I can do that, she smiled as he walked up to her and hugged her. I want to go to bed now, Mama. Her heart felt warm when he called her that. Okay, as he walked in, there were no other beds, so I guess you will have to sleep with me. Okay, Mama. He jumped onto the bed and lay there, and she got in as well, and he moved closer and hugged her. Good night, he said. Good night. As she fell to sleep, she wondered how Thranos would take this. And this concludes Chapter 4.